welcome back to Think Build Test. I'd just like to take a second to welcome all the new subscribers that have been coming on recently, as well as say hello to all of our old friends who've been commenting and with us all along. Sorry about the delay in content, but we've been doing lots of little things, making lots of little progress, and it's just been kind of hard to film and get it all. So today I'm going to catch you up to speed at where we're at on this. So what I have before me is 1/4 inch thick plate steel, and we're making our floor deck for our lift. Now, I would love to say that I have some great montage footage of us taking and assembling all this, but as much as I wanted that to happen, this stuff is seriously heavy. Online it says this stuff is 10 pounds per square foot, but I think it's heavier than that. So we may have to weigh these plates and see what the scale is. We needed a total of 12 linear feet, so we bought one 4x8 sheet and one 4x4 sheet. So that would make the 4x8 sheet about 320 pounds and the 4x4 sheet about 160 pounds. I'm cutting these floor plates down into 2-foot sections so that they're hopefully more manageable, and that should have made them at about 80 pounds a piece or less, because we're not quite 4 feet wide. Okay, so this is a lot more than 10 pounds per square foot. This is 98 pounds. All right, so I abandoned using my torch. This 1/4 inch for long travels. After about going a foot, the slag starts to want to build up. And this cheap guide that they sent with it, when it starts getting hot, starts getting loose, starts letting my tip get all wobbly, and I'm not excited about all the slag cleanup I'm going to have to do on my original one. So I know it's not a great choice, especially for this long of cuts, but I'm going back to using the grinder with the cutting disc.
Don't do that.
It's the only tool I got right now, and I want to stay busy and get this completed. Let me know what recommendations you have to get these plasma cutters to go a little further. What kind of guide tips you guys would recommend using. I need to learn this tool better, so any tips you have would be great. Now that being said, I'm not recommending this for this job, but it will get the job done. It's going through about 3 discs every 4 feet. That's where we're at, and I'm going to continue going on. I don't want to ruin this nice new metal that cost $500. So the reason why I went with such thick plate is because I needed to keep my build as low profile as possible. So I don't have enough height room to build a subframe underneath thinner plate. So I'm taking this 1/4 inch plate and I'm adding 1 inch stiffeners to the edges. And there is a huge difference between 1/4 inch strap and 1/4 inch plate. This stuff will not bend with my weight at all on a 4-foot section. It's amazingly strong stuff. I probably don't even need to add the stiffeners, but I want to protect against my what if scenario of if I drove over this plate with a car tire. I don't want to end up deforming the plate. I've got a few plates already done. I'll show you on this plate what I'm doing. I've just been taking this 1 inch strap, and some pieces I'm able to keep the whole strap as one piece, but other pieces I'm going to have to make cuts in to have clearance for my rollers and different pieces of the frame. This is a super low profile X frame when it's collapsed, so we have a lot of things to bundle into a really tight space, and I have to keep it low profile because I dug my pit a certain depth, and that's a hard number now. So for my height and the pit's depth, you know, I had about 6 to 8 inches to play with for my collapsed height. So all these things have to stay under those limits. I don't need to add a lot of weld to this. I need weld on the outside, weld in the middle, and weld on the other outside. This also gives me a chance to get rid of any bend that's in my plate steel, and that'll help the conformity of all my plates and where they butt up to each other, so they'll be closer to the same edge height. Here's a good example of the clearance cuts I'm talking about. So this is the stiffener. It's gonna go right here, and it'll help locate that plate. by the edges of these will hit the edge of those. Where my rollers have to bypass, we have to have these clearance cuts. Some of these middle ones, we're able to leave this full beams. Down on this end, this beam would have fouled, so we had to clearance cut those. On the far end, we had to do some front tabs for locating. In areas like this, there was just a small area where things wouldn't foul, so we just put these smaller tabs for locating the front deck. It's time for the struggle bus. So now these tabs will keep it located left and right, and that'll help keep the plate aligned. Last piece. All right, so I got the last plate put in here. After weighing that and seeing that they're 100 pounds a piece, we have added about 500 pounds to the top deck. And that may be a little more than what I was thinking. And calculating that out, that ended up to be 15.5 pounds per square foot. Now that I got this floor on here, what should we do with this floor? Should we rhino line it, paint it, put a little bit of sand flake in there for traction? I'm thinking of, in regards to oil cleanup spills, I may want to have it actually stay smooth so that it's easier to clean the oil up. Another thought that I was having is to just polish this out, put a high buff on it as much as I can, and then possibly put a clear epoxy coat on it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think we should do to finish out this floor. Another problem we're coming across, and this is a problem that I predicted we may have had, was when this X-frame is fully collapsed and the piston is having to push horizontal to get it started, it doesn't have very much lifting power. So with all this weight, this extra 700 pounds on here with this full frame, getting this to start from the bottom position is proving too hard. So this is the next solution that we need to engineer up. So there's a couple solutions we can do. We can upgrade our cylinder to a much larger bore diameter, or we could offset this weight with a counterweight. There's several option types that we could use. We could use a garage door lift system with torsion springs. We could use the garage door springs that stretch. We could potentially even get some car coilover springs that just compressed at the bottom. We could create some counterweight by putting some heavy blocks of concrete to offset the weight. Anyway, let's be thinking about that solution. Leave me some comments what you think we should do. Drop your suggestions down in the comments. Let me know what you think we should do. I think having some kind of counterweight is a good idea anyway. This platform drops really rapidly coming down, and I'd like to slow that down and make it smoother, so having a counterweight may help us out with that. Shall we commence with the ridiculousness?
Today is the day I'm making a change.